We're going to be looking at Pi Network cryptocurrency.
All right.
It just started open trading a couple days ago.
Yeah, just February 2025 it started, and yeah, it's been kind of making headlines ever since.
That's right, February 20th, 2025.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been making a lot of buzz, especially.
There's a lot of buzz around it, especially.
The price has almost doubled in 4 days.
Yeah, in just 4 days, the price has almost doubled.
Yeah.
So, the question is Pi Network the next big thing in crypto, or is it just another, speculative bubble that's going to burst?
Right. Is this the next Bitcoin, or is this, something that we're all going to forget about in a couple of weeks?
Exactly.
So let's start with the basics.
Yeah.
What is Pi Network? I've heard it described as this cryptocurrency you can mine on your phone.
Right.
Which sounds pretty wild to me.
It is pretty unique. So unlike Bitcoin, which requires powerful computers and a lot of energy to mine, Pi is designed for everyday users, so you can mine it directly on your smartphone.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
So I don't need a basement full of mining rigs and stuff.
No, you don't need any specialized hardware.
Wow. Okay, so how does that even work then?
Well, Pi uses a much more energy-efficient mining system compared to traditional cryptocurrency, and it relies on this consensus algorithm called the Stellar Consensus Protocol, which allows users to validate transactions and earn Pi by simply verifying each other's trustworthiness within the network.
Okay.
And they also have this KYC solution, Know Your Customer, which helps with security by verifying users' identities.
So it's kind of like a trust network where everyone's vouching for each other.
Yeah, that's like a web of trust, yeah.
That's really interesting. So tell me more about the people behind Pi.
Yeah.
Who are these masterminds who are, making crypto mining accessible to anyone with a smartphone?
Well, the founders are 2 Stanford PhDs, Nicholas Kakalis and Chengdao Fan.
Right.
Which definitely adds some credibility to the project.
Yeah, for sure.
And their whole goal was to create a cryptocurrency that was accessible to everyone, regardless of, their technical expertise or financial resources.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Stanford PhDs and a mission to democratize cryptocurrency. That's a pretty compelling story.
It is.
So open trading just started, and I've heard it's been quite a roller coaster ride for Pi's price.
Oh, yeah.
What happened when Pi hit the open market?
So it definitely wasn't a smooth launch.
Okay.
Right out of the gate, Pi surged to $1.97.
Wow.
But then it took a plunge, dropping over 60% to 73.7 cents.
Oh, my God.
And then in a wild turn of events, it rebounded almost 160% in a single day.
Wow.
All of this happened within just 4 days of open trading.
So that's some serious volatility.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I can see why people are excited, but also a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
What caused these dramatic price swings?
It's hard to say for sure. The crypto market is notoriously volatile.
And new listings often experience big price swings as investors try to figure out the true value of the asset.
Okay.
In Pi's case, the hype surrounding its launch, coupled with the uncertainty of a brand new cryptocurrency entering the market, likely contributed to those extreme fluctuations.
Yeah.
Just 1 day after trading began, the price crashed a whopping 62.63%.
Ouch.
That's a big dip for anyone who bought in at the peak.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt. So despite all this drama,
Yeah.
why was Pi's listing on exchanges such a significant event?
Right.
What does it actually mean for the future of Pi Network?
Well, this listing marked the end of years of speculation for the over 110 million Pi users who had been mining Pi on their phones.
Okay.
For a long time, Pi existed within a closed ecosystem, and its value was uncertain.
Right.
With open trading, Pi finally entered the wider cryptocurrency market, allowing users to buy, sell, and trade it on major exchanges like Binance, CoinECX, OKX, and BitGet.
So that's a huge step.
Huge step, yeah. Pi Network themselves, they made a pretty big announcement on Twitter about this whole open mainnet launch.
They did.
What did they have to say about it?
Essentially, they explained that this move allows Pi to connect with other networks and systems, which is crucial for its utility and reach.
Okay.
It's a move towards making Pi more than just a speculative asset.
Gotcha.
And instead, a functional cryptocurrency that can be used for various purposes.
That makes a lot of sense. So let's say someone listening is intrigued and they want to get in on the action.
Okay.
How do they actually go about mining it on their phone?
Right.
You mentioned it was pretty simple.
Yeah, it really is. You just download the Pi Network app, tap the lightning bolt icon to start mining, and after 3 days, you add a few trusted contacts to your network.
Okay.
Referrals are also encouraged as they help boost your mining rate.
Got it. So download the app, tap Add Contacts, Refer Friends.
Pretty much.
Simple enough. What about buying Pi now that it's listed on exchanges?
Yeah.
What's that process like?
It's similar to buying any other cryptocurrency.
Okay.
You just choose an exchange where Pi is listed.
Yeah.
You go through a verification process, add funds to your account, and then you can buy Pi.
Gotcha.
It's become a lot more accessible now that it's available on major platforms.
So we've covered the basics.
Yeah.
What Pi Network is, how mining works, and how to get involved.
Right.
Now let's look ahead.
Okay.
What's the future looking like for Pi Network?
Well, Fortune India made a build prediction suggesting Pi could reach $500 by 2030.
Whoa.
However, they also emphasized a critical point.
Okay.
This hinges on Pi establishing real-world use cases
Yeah.
and integrating successfully with a wider financial ecosystem. It's a possibility,
Okay.
but there are a lot of ifs involved.
So potentially a moonshot, but a lot depends on how things unfold.
Exactly.
It sounds like some people are betting big on Pi while others are taking a more cautious approach.
Yeah, a healthy mix.
Are there any signs that Pi is gaining traction in the real world?
There are some encouraging signs. Major exchanges like BitChute and Bitmart have been backing Pi with promotional campaigns and giveaways,
Oh, wow.
signaling their confidence in its potential.
Interesting.
This kind of support from established players in the crypto space is a positive indicator.
Yeah, for sure. And what about interest specifically in India? We know Pi has a global presence,
Yeah,
but is it catching on here too?
absolutely. Pi Network has seen a massive number of downloads in India.
Okay.
Over 10 crore downloads from the Google Play Store alone.
10 crore.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot of potential users.
That's a strong indication of significant interest within the country.
Okay, so we've got a lot of excitement surrounding Pi.
Yeah.
Substantial potential for growth.
Yes.
Major players showing their support.
Right.
But it's still early days.
For sure.
And a lot depends on how things develop from here.
Exactly.
How is the current state of the crypto market influencing Pi's performance?
Well, the broader crypto market plays a huge role in the performance of individual cryptocurrencies. Right now, the market is generally bullish, meaning there's an overall sense of optimism.
Okay.
CoinSwitch Markets Desk even reported that Bitcoin could reach $102,000 soon.
Wow.
That kind of positive energy in the market could be contributing to Pi's momentum.
So a rising tide lifts all boats, as they say.
Exactly.
But what about Ethereum?
Right.
It's usually a major player in the crypto world. Is it keeping up with Bitcoin's success?
Not quite. Ethereum has been struggling to break past the $3,000 mark,
Okay.
showing that even in a generally bullish market, individual cryptocurrencies can experience different trends. It highlights the dynamic and unpredictable nature of the crypto space.
It definitely does. Okay, so far we've covered what Pi Network is, how it works, the excitement and volatility surrounding its open trading debut,
Yeah.
and its potential for future growth. Before we move on, what stood out to you the most from all this research?
Right.
What sparked your curiosity about Pi Network?
I think what I find most fascinating is this unique combination of accessibility and ambition. On one hand, they've made it incredibly easy for anyone with a smartphone to get involved in mining cryptocurrency, which is a big departure from the traditional energy-intensive approach.
Definitely makes crypto feel much less intimidating for the average person.
Exactly.
What about the ambition part?
Well, their goal is not just to make crypto accessible, but to create a cryptocurrency that can genuinely integrate into the real world and have a tangible impact.
Yeah.
Whether they can achieve that is still up in the air,
Yeah.
but the potential is definitely there.
I see what you mean. It's a bold vision, and it seems like it's resonating with people.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious to hear what particularly caught your attention. Was there anything that surprised you or made you think, wow, I need to know more about this?
What struck me is the sheer scale of Pi's user base.
Okay.
Over 110 million users is not just a niche community, it's a massive movement. That kind of grassroots support could be a powerful force,
Yeah.
and it raises some intriguing questions.
Okay, I'm hooked. What kind of questions are swirling around in your mind?
Well, with Pi Network gaining this kind of traction and its unique approach to mining and community building, could it actually disrupt the traditional cryptocurrency landscape? And if so, what does that mean for the future of decentralized finance? These are some pretty big questions, and I don't think we have all the answers yet.
That's a fantastic point. It's something for all of us to ponder as we watch this cryptocurrency unfold. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's explore Pi Network a bit further. There's still a lot to uncover.
Yeah, definitely. It really is a fascinating case study, especially when you consider how much emphasis they're putting on community building.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of community, How is Pi being received by the wider crypto community? It seems like there are always strong opinions when something new and potentially disruptive emerges.
Yeah, that's true. And Pi is definitely generating a mixed bag of excitement and skepticism,
Okay.
which is to be expected.
So who are the people cheering Pi on from the sidelines?
Well, you've got the early adopters who've been mining Pi on their phones for a while now. They're obviously enthusiastic about the project's potential. Then you have those who believe Pi could be a game changer in terms of accessibility and user-friendliness. And of course, there are always the speculators hoping to capitalize on Pi's price volatility and make a quick profit.
Interesting. And what about the skeptics? What
Yeah.
concerns are they raising?
So some people question Pi's true value and utility, arguing that until it's widely accepted for payments and integrated into real-world applications, it remains a speculative asset. Others are wary of the long-term sustainability of the mobile mining model, wondering if it can scale effectively as the network grows, and naturally, after the recent market turmoil, there's a general cautiousness towards anything new in the crypto space.
Yeah, that makes sense. The crypto world has seen its fair share of scams and failed projects. So a healthy dose of skepticism is understandable. What are your thoughts on those concerns?
Well, I think it's important to approach any new cryptocurrency, including Pi, with a critical eye. The concerns about real-world use cases and scalability are valid, while Pi has outlined plans for a Pi-based marketplace and partnerships with businesses. These are still in development.
Right.
The team will need to demonstrate concrete progress and address these concerns convincingly to gain wider trust and adoption.
So it's a wait-and-see situation for now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Where do you see Pi fitting into the overall evolution of cryptocurrency?
I think Pi represents an interesting trend toward greater accessibility and inclusivity in the crypto world. Traditionally, getting involved with cryptocurrency required technical expertise, expensive hardware, and a tolerance for high risk.
Yeah.
Pi's trying to break down those barriers.
And that's definitely appealing, but does making crypto more accessible come with any trade-offs in terms of security or decentralization?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
The Pi Network team is very aware of those concerns.
Yeah.
They've implemented security measures, including KYC verification, to maintain the integrity of the network. However, because Pi is still in its early stages, the team has more control over the network than a fully decentralized cryptocurrency would typically have.
So it's not as decentralized as, say, Bitcoin right now.
Correct. They've outlined a plan for gradually increasing decentralization as the network matures, but finding that balance between accessibility and decentralization will be crucial.
It sounds like they're navigating a delicate balance. I've also heard Pi Network described as a kind of social experiment.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that characterization?
I think it speaks to their emphasis on community building.
Okay.
They've created a platform where users not only mine cryptocurrency, but also connect, share ideas, and participate in the network's development. It's a unique blend of social interaction and cryptocurrency.
It's like a social network with a crypto twist.
It is.
That community aspect is definitely intriguing. But let's shift gears and talk about practical applications.
Okay.
How can people actually use UPi in the real world?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And the Pi Network team is working on it. Remember, Pi has only been openly traded for a few days, so it's very early.
Right. Of course, what kind of use cases are they exploring?
Well, they're encouraging the development of a Pi-based marketplace for users to buy and sell goods and services using Pi. They're also looking into partnerships with businesses to enable Pi payments and fostering the development of decentralized applications or dApps that run on the Pi network.
Sounds like they're aiming to build an entire ecosystem around Pi.
Exactly.
But as with any ambitious project, there are bound to be challenges.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest hurdles they'll need to overcome?
Well, scalability is a major one. Can Pi Network handle millions or even billions of transactions smoothly and efficiently as it grows? That's something they'll need to demonstrate.
Okay.
Regulation is another challenge. Governments globally are still figuring out how to regulate cryptocurrency, and Pi Network will need to navigate those regulations carefully.
Right. It's like a constantly shifting landscape.
It is.
What about competition?
Yeah, the crypto space is crowded.
Absolutely. Pi Network needs to differentiate itself and prove it's more than just hype to attract users and investors in a competitive market. Demonstrating real-world value and utility is key.
So they're facing challenges with scalability, regulation, and competition. It makes you wonder, can Pi's unique approach actually lead to a more inclusive and equitable financial system?
That's the exciting part. If Pi Network achieves widespread adoption, It could potentially disrupt the traditional financial system.
Okay.
Imagine a world where anyone with a smartphone can send and receive money instantly without needing a bank account or paying high fees. That's the kind of potential Pi represents.
That's a powerful vision. But let's not get carried away. What are some specific challenges they might face in achieving that vision?
Besides the ones we've already mentioned, there are also technical hurdles to overcome. Ensuring the security and privacy of transactions on a massive scale is crucial. They'll also need to develop user-friendly interfaces and educational resources to make cryptocurrency accessible to people who are unfamiliar with it. Right, it needs to be easy for everyone to use and understand. What about the potential impact on existing financial institutions? Wouldn't they resist this kind of disruption?
There's likely to be pushback from established players who see Pi as a threat. Pi Network will need to find ways to collaborate with or coexist alongside traditional financial institutions to achieve mainstream adoption. It's a delicate balancing act.
It's fascinating to think about how all these pieces might fit together.
Yeah,
If Pi manages to overcome these challenges, what could the wider implications be?
right.
How could it change the way we think about money and finance?
If Pi achieves its goal of creating a more inclusive and accessible financial system, it could have a profound impact on global economic empowerment countries. Individuals who have traditionally been excluded from traditional financial systems, like those in developing countries or those without access to banks, could gain control over their finances and participate more fully in the global economy.
That's a really inspiring thought. It's almost like a social movement powered by technology. But let's be realistic, building a more equitable financial system is a huge undertaking. What are some of the potential downsides or unintended consequences that we should be aware of?
One concern is the potential for financial instability. If Pi grows too quickly without proper regulation and oversight, it could create risks for both users and the wider economy. There's also the issue of potential misuse, like any form of money. Pi could be vulnerable to fraud, money laundering, and other illegal activities. Addressing these challenges will be critical for Pi's long-term sustainability.
That's an important point. So while there's a lot of potential for positive change, we also need to be mindful of the potential risks. Now, let's talk about where Pi fits into the broader technological landscape. One of the biggest buzzwords in tech right now is Web3.
Yeah.
It's all about decentralization, user ownership, and new ways of interacting online. I'm curious, how does Pi Network fit into that whole Web3 vision?
Well, Pi Network actually aligns quite well with the core principles of Web3. One of their goals is to create a more equitable and decentralized internet, giving users more control over their data and online experiences. They see Pi as a key component of that vision.
So it's not just about a new cryptocurrency, it's about reshaping the internet as we know it.
Exactly.
That's a pretty ambitious goal.
Yeah, it is.
So they want to use Pi to power a new generation of decentralized applications and services that give users more control and autonomy.
That's the idea.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connection.
Yeah.
But how would that actually work in practice?
Right.
What kind of decentralized applications are we talking about?
Well, the possibilities are vast.
Yeah.
Think about decentralized social networks,
Right.
where users own their data and content.
Okay.
Decentralized marketplaces where buyers and sellers connect directly without intermediaries, or even decentralized financial platforms offering a range of services without traditional banks. These are just a few examples of what Pi Network aims to enable.
Wow, that does sound like a paradigm shift, but building a decentralized internet is a huge undertaking. It's not just about technology.
Right.
It's about changing people's behavior and expectations. Can Pi Network actually pull it off?
It's a massive challenge, no doubt.
Okay.
But what's intriguing is their community-driven approach.
Oh.
They're empowering developers and entrepreneurs to build on the Pi platform and create the applications and services that will bring this vision to life.
So they're creating a kind of decentralized ecosystem where everyone can contribute.
Exactly. They're building the foundation and relying on the community's creativity and ingenuity to build the rest. It's a fascinating experiment in decentralized development.
I love that analogy of planting a seed and letting it grow organically. Now, what about the metaverse?
Right.
Everyone's talking about it these days.
Yeah, it's a hot topic.
Is there any connection between Pi Network and the metaverse?
There could be.
Okay.
The metaverse is all about immersive digital worlds for interaction, work, and play.
Right.
Pi Network's focus on community building and decentralized applications could definitely play a role in shaping those metaverse experiences.
So you're saying that Pi could be used to create a more decentralized and user-owned metaverse where people have more control over their digital identities and assets.
Precisely, imagine using Pi to buy virtual goods and services, create unique digital experiences, or even govern virtual communities. The possibilities are really exciting.
Okay, I'm officially on board with the potential here.
Yeah,
But let's step back for a moment and remember that Pi Network is still a cryptocurrency,
right.
and those are known for being volatile and unpredictable. What advice would you give someone considering investing in Pi?
Well, my advice would be the same for any investment.
Yeah.
Do your research.
Okay.
Understand the risks. Only invest what you can afford to lose.
Yeah.
The crypto market is still very young and volatile, and there are no guarantees.
Wise words as we wrap up this deep dive into Pi Network. What's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing to remember is that Pi Network is more than just a cryptocurrency. It's a vision for a more decentralized, inclusive, and user-owned future. Whether or not that vision fully comes to fruition, it's a journey worth watching.
I couldn't agree more. It's a story full of potential innovation and maybe even a little bit of magic. Thanks for diving deep with us today, and be sure to tune in next time for another fascinating exploration on the deep dive.